Well, she has participated in various labor unions throughout her career as a registered nurse. She decided to run for assembly in order to advocate for workers, promote accessible health care, and support small businesses. She won that race and now joins us in the studio to discuss the happenings in her district following her inauguration. We welcome Assemblywoman Karines Reyes, welcoming representing the 87th district, and good to have you.
Good to be here. Hi, Daren.
Talk to me about this for a minute. You're in. We've met before. It was touch and go for a bit. You were wondering about the election. Now you're in. How's it been?
It's been great. It's been a lot of work, trying to get all those things that we talked about during the campaign done. But we're in the middle of budget season, and it's really about advocating for more resources for the community, and we've been fighting to do that. Just last week, we had the Commissioner of Business Services. We did a walkthrough through the district, visited some small businesses, kind of informed our constituents of some of the services that the city has to offer. We remodeled our office, so we're trying to get our services up and running. We want to provide legal services, immigration services, so trying to get all those things going. But of course, we needed to make the space first, which we did. We're going to have a grand opening soon. And it's been an exciting legislative season. We've been passing a lot of progressive legislation that's kind of been waiting on the sidelines for some time, now that we have a Democratic Senate as well. And it's been exciting.
Talk to me about that Democratic Senate, Democratic Assembly, because first time, really, the Democrats have really had full control of New York State. For you, what were you looking to see come flying through right off the bat?
One of the things I said while I was campaigning is that I am unequivocally a supporter of a woman's right to choose, and we passed the Reproductive Health Act. We passed GENDA, the Gender Expression Non-Discrimination Act, that protects our LGBTQ communities. We banned a ban on conversion therapy. The CCCA, which ensures that health insurances can pay for contraceptives for women. The BOSS bill that protects a woman's reproductive choices at work. We passed legislation to close the LLC loophole in terms of campaign funding, and we're looking to pass really good criminal justice reform as well. That's been in the talks.
So when we talk about taking the issues from your district up to Albany, obviously you're going to be representing your constituents, having that conversation. What are some of the things that you really want to see that you're able to hopefully be able to drive home and bring home during this budget season?
So we signed on to a letter requesting $250 million for NYCHA funding, and we really want to make sure that some of that funding comes to the district. Castle Hill houses have been having some problem with heat that we've been working really hard on to make sure that they have heat, and Glebe Senior Center and Glebe Housing, but also funding for our schools and some of the community centers in our district. So we have the KIPS Boys and Girls Clubhouse, which provides programming for young adults and young teens and kids, and we want to give them some more money for infrastructure so they can have the space that they deserve, for our kids to play and learn.
What do you see as the hardest challenge for you going up towards Albany right now?
The drive.
Yeah.
You get spread really thin. Everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody has priorities. Everybody has an ask. And it's kind of sifting through that to see which of those asks really impact the community the most, and making sure that you advocate the hardest for that.
So talk to us about going forward. Obviously, a lot of work that still remains on the table. What are you going to be tackling when you get back to Albany?
So like I said, down the pipeline, we have criminal justice reform packages that we've been talking about. Things like congestion pricing, funding for the MTA, all these big ticket issues that we've been talking about. For me personally, safe staffing for the nurses and single payer healthcare in New York.
All right. Talk about nursing for a minute. As you talk about staffing and nursing staffing. Is that voice being heard in Albany?
Yes.
Well, I know because you're there, but I'm saying.
Yes, I make sure I bring that issue up. But it's also about having the conversation with my colleagues. I feel like oftentimes if people don't have somebody with the experience talking to them about it, they don't understand. They don't understand the implications of not having staff in hospitals and in care centers. And having someone like myself there really speaking truth to power when it comes to those issues, I've found that it's been more effective. So we're getting people on this side of staffing, but I'm sure the nurses are doing the work on their own as well, on the ground, and that's all part of it.
You just came out of caucus weekend. Talk to us about the caucus experience and your takeaways.
So it's not my first caucus weekend, but it's my first caucus weekend as an elected official. So the Black, Puerto Rican, and Hispanic and Asian Legislative Caucus meets annually to have discussions. The purpose of caucus is to have discussions about issues that concern communities of color. And traditionally, or in the past, we didn't always have as much representation in the legislature like we do now. So that was the purpose of caucus. So caucus allows us to have conversations about all those issues: criminal justice reform, healthcare advocacy, healthcare access, small minority and women-owned businesses, all these issues that affect our community. So it's exciting, it's fun, but there's also a lot of work, and we talk about the difficult issues that affect us.
Yeah, a lot of difficult issues that still remain on the table. One thing that we talked about, I know when we talked about in the district, was the fact of housing and the challenge of housing and addressing the whole housing issue, overdevelopment, underdevelopment. Where do you see that going, and where do you see things right now?
So we are looking to pass, the housing bills are up for renewal. So really trying to strengthen tenant protections and bring more rent control and rent stabilization to the area is a priority for me. We can do that legislatively, but we can also do that with the relationships we build and ensuring that the development that comes to the community really addresses housing in a meaningful way.
Lastly, before I get out of here, your constituents are going to ask, hey, listen, what can I expect happening in my district real soon?
So like I said, we have a grand opening of our office. We're looking to do that March 2nd. Today is Women's Mother Language Day, I believe, and we have an event on Starling Avenue tomorrow. And we're looking forward to bringing the Metro North, and that's big picture, right?
Yes, big picture.
We're gonna have senior art classes at the Bronx River Arts Center. It's Dominican Heritage Independence Day is the 27th, so we're gonna be doing some events around that too.
Well, good. Good to have you. Welcome. Congratulations. Have you got your foot in yet?
It's in.
It's in. All right. Well, good to have you. All right, Assemblywoman Karines Reyes with us here. Taking a quick break. We've got more open. Want you to stay with us. Got more show coming up right after this.